Hey, gorgeous. Let's talk about pricing because seriously, why is pricing your own business so hard? Now, I ask people a lot of the time, like, what's your price? How much does it cost? And sometimes when I ask entrepreneurs that, they stammer, they try and justify, or they even deflect the question. And I've done it myself many times. Now I'm on the other side of it and I buy things a lot of the time. I get really impatient when a business owner clearly does not want to tell me how much something costs. And I'm just like, just tell me the price so I can pay it. The price is the price. It's super annoying, but it doesn't have to be. I'm Denise Duffield-Thomas, author of Chillpreneur, and today we're talking about pricing. I see a ton of big pricing mistakes all the time with entrepreneurs, but it doesn't have to be that way. When I started out as a little bitty life coach, I was just as clueless about pricing as anyone else. And I'd never had to think about it before because all of my previous jobs, they set my prices, either my day rate when I was a consultant or they set my salary. It wasn't something I had to think about. I even hated having salary conversations. I never even asked for a raise or a bonus. So when I started my business, I was like, can someone just tell me how much to charge, please? It was suddenly my responsibility to assign a monetary value onto my skills and my talents, and that felt scary. Because if I was too expensive, I would look like I was too big for my boots. If I was too cheap, it would look like I was inexperienced. And I just wish someone would tell me what to charge. Now, I have worked with thousands of entrepreneurs over the years, and I've seen a lot of pricing patterns come up amongst the mistakes that we all make because, believe me, I've made them all as well. Now, knowledge is power, and if you're aware of these pricing mistakes, you're going to recognize them when they arise, and they will again, so they'll be less likely to derail you. So the first big pricing mistake that I see is pricing by committee. The very worst thing you can do is to ask other people what they think you should charge. Now, it's an innocent mistake because we think, well, I want to be inclusive, I want to be collaborative, and I want to harness the wisdom of others by asking them their opinion. And you might have even found this video by Googling, what should I charge? Now, listen to me, this is a really dangerous practice because every time you set your prices by committee, by group thinking, you are taking on other people's beliefs around money, regardless of their qualifications, experience, or their money mindset. Now, imagine that your money blocks are physical things like rocks, right? And you carry them around. Each rock is like, I'm not good enough, nobody's gonna pay it. And so obviously the more money blocks you have, the harder you have to work just to go about your daily life because it's like, you're not good enough, you need another certificate. And so you already have yours, but when you crowdsource your pricing to other people, you're not just carrying around your money fears, you're taking on theirs as well. So it'd be like carrying 50 people's backpacks all at once. Not all money feedback and pricing feedback is useful. If you don't believe me, you can try this out for yourself. Just go to your favorite business forum or group and ask everybody a pricing question. Just like, hey guys, what should I charge for this? And you will be astounded by the variety of responses because everybody has a different perspective on worth and value. And before you pay any attention to what anyone else says, ask yourself the following questions. First of all, are they my target audience? Taking advice from people who are nowhere near your target market, for example, your partner, your uncle, or even a random stranger on the internet, is a really big mistake. And I have done it myself. I remember talking to this guy I met at a networking event, 50-something guy, and he asked what I did, of course, and he was asking nosy questions, and then he was like, oh, it sounds like you're charging a lot. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed because he was really reflecting my fears about my business, that I was a fraud. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe you're right. And this guy was the opposite of my target market, but I let his random opinion sway one of my most important business decisions. His opinion of my pricing could have been based on nothing, like what his own target market could afford, or something more sinister like an ingrained misogynistic view about what someone like me was worth. Either way, totally useless. But that interaction, it really played on my mind for days, even though he wasn't my coach, he wasn't my audience, He wasn't a pricing or a marketing expert. He was a random guy who knew nothing about my business or my target market or my skills. He just made a snap decision based on what he felt was too expensive. It's not his fault. I believed him. His opinion was none of my business. So why was I even taking it on? Why did I even have a money conversation with this random dude or a random stranger? Because I didn't want to have to set my own prices. I wanted someone else with great certainty to tell me what to charge so I didn't have to confront my fears about money. I thought he would know better than me. So if you have a specific niche, and you totally should, then how tightly do the people offering you opinions fit your target profile? For example, are they the right age, gender, geographical location, income level, stage of life, or business? So for example, if your target audience is parents of newborns who have a healthy income, why would you take the opinion of some random person? It doesn't make sense. If you market to other business people, what stage of business are they in? Because what's appropriate for a beginner to pay could be something completely different from someone who's really financially successful in business. Here's the thing though, nobody knows more about your business than you do. I don't know. Nobody knows your target market's hopes and dreams as well as you do. And nobody is more deeply and emotionally connected to your business goals than you are. So another question to ask yourself before getting pricing feedback is this person even in the market for what I do? Now, until people actually need something, they don't really know what they would pay for it. Now, when I think of some of the things I've paid for random stuff just because I needed it right now, or because I didn't even know it existed and I got excited about it, I have spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars by now on things I didn't even know that I needed. But if you had asked me before, what's this worth? I wouldn't have known. I would have vastly underestimated what I would have paid because I didn't need it or want it. Now, my budget is way more flexible than someone else starting out in business. And to be honest, my time is worth more to me now. So I'm willing to pay to outsource to an expert. And I've always appreciated paying for professionals in my business. For example, copywriters or salespeople or graphic designers. But I've never considered paying a ton of money for copywriting, for example, until I needed to create 35 scripts in 2 weeks for a new course I was filming. And I was procrastinating about it so much, even though I'd paid people to do it before. But I ended up paying 4 times my budget because I was suddenly in the market for it and I needed it done now. And I had to hire an expert who could hit my deadline. And it was totally worth it. But I didn't know what I should have paid. So unless the people giving you advice are in your target market and they are in the market for what you do, they're probably not going to give you very useful help at all. So if you do need a ballpark figure, you could ask a better question. You could say, hey guys, can you tell me what you do and how much have you paid for X? So for example, if you've been in business for at least 2 years, what did you pay for your last website? Or, hey, is anyone here a health coach? What did you pay for your website photography? That way, you are getting advice from people who have put some money in the game. And it's useful market research instead of just some random person's opinion. Now, this is a juicy one. What about looking at your competitors or your peers? What about other people who are in your industry? Should you ask them or should you sneak a little sneaky peek at their prices and kind of place yourself in there accordingly? I don't think so. I actually don't think this is remotely helpful at all. You might look at them and think, oh, they're super popular, like they're older than me, oh, they're sexier than me, I can't charge as much as they do. Now, I did this myself. At the start of my business, I didn't think I deserved to charge as much as or more than other people in the coaching industry, even though I had no idea about their skill level. Now, maybe you're judging yourself against like the popular kids in your industry, and you think that maybe social media follows or likes mean that they have superior experience. Now, that might sound reasonable on the surface, but most of the time we're discounting our years of experience that have nothing to do with social media popularity. Now, in your mind, maybe that counts more, but it doesn't. popularity doesn't always mean you're really good at what you do. Even longevity and age doesn't always mean that you're really good at what you do. I know a ton of people who have been around a long time, but whose skills have stagnated. Maybe you have some of those people in your industry as well. But then some industries, there isn't a lot of longevity because it wasn't even possible. For example, maybe you're a social media person. Like, the technology changes all the time. So someone who's been around a long time might not be as good as you. Now, lastly, do not look at your industry if you have a ton of money blocks in your industry. For example, the healing professions, because you're just averaging out everyone else's money blocks. And some industries have a lot of collective money blocks. So if you base your prices on that, you are just taking on everyone else's money blocks too. So you're like, all right, I can't survey my audience. I can't ask the random guy down the street. I can't look at my competitors and what they're charging. What am I going to do now? Well, the simple answer is you have to trust your own wisdom and set your own prices. Oh, thanks, Denise. Great. Honestly, nobody's going to do that for you, but it's not as fancy as you think. You can just literally pick a number and try it out. Everyone else is making it up as well. And what you're looking for is the Goldilocks sweet spot for you, the right price for you, regardless of what other people charge. It has to feel good. Now, I interviewed author Danielle Laporte one time, and she calls this being comfortable in your money shoes, which I loved because we've all had shoes that have felt a little bit too tight or a little bit too big, and you have to find the right fit. If you price yourself too big, you might feel like a fraud, like you're a little girl wearing your mum's high heels. But if you've outgrown your pricing, it feels like wearing uncomfortable shoes that are too tight. You have to feel like you're in alignment and in integrity with your pricing, and only you can decide what that is for your business. So if you came here looking for me to tell you the exact amount of money, I can't help you with that. But I can help you that your money blocks aren't sabotaging your pricing and your ability to receive more money. I've got a free workshop all about identifying each of the 7 money blocks that I see in entrepreneurs. And you can watch it today for free at denisedt.com/blocks. You deserve to be paid beautifully for what you do. And when you set the right price for you, it sends a powerful message to the universe that you are ready to receive. So I'll see you on that Money Blocks workshop, denisedt.com/blocks. It's your time and you're ready for the next step. Hey gorgeous, it's Denise here again. I would love to invite you into my brand new free money masterclass. I'll be talking about 7 big money blocks and exactly how you can clear them. I want to help you break free of your limiting beliefs so you can go to the next level of income. It's going to be easier than you think, but it all starts with getting out of your own way. Join me today over at denisedt.com/blocks and let's get started together.